space, something which the NIA under the Congress government chose not to take cognizance of in 2013. So let's look at this entire issue. That Ishrat Jahan had been part of the Headley revelations at that time, before he gave his testimony here, is well known. The NIA had a choice to have brought it to the notice. Way back in 2013, on 27th of September, Mr. Arun Jaitley, as the leader of opposition, not as a citizen, as the leader of opposition, wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Among other things, he clearly wrote on the Ishrat Jahan case. And that letter puts the facts there unequivocally. There was silence from the government on that. What were the facts? That the IB was tracking Ishrat Jahan, a state police was not. That this IB was the one giving information that this was a terror module, that they were out to perhaps look at assassinating important people, including the then Chief Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and Mr. L.K. Advani. These facts were there. Their interrogation took place. That is also a fact which was well known. Thereafter, an encounter took place, which is a matter of investigation. Now, even if the encounter is a matter of a separate investigation, as the Congress party is pointing out, and I have no quarrel about that.
Yes.
The question is, everything under the sun was done indirectly, directly, to somehow portray Ishrat Jahan as a victim.
Okay.
Despite the fact that the LET had acknowledged her as a martyr. So therefore, the question is, and that's the relevant question, irrespective of our political opposition, our political differences, can national security be compromised with? Can someone who's a terrorist be painted in a sympathetic manner to score political points? And are those not questions that the Congress must answer clearly before trying to shoot the messenger and the message?
Okay, Dr. Singhvi, you need to respond to that before I go on to my next question.
Rahul, it's very interesting. Let me first repeat everything which I have said earlier without repeating it. I stand by each word. Second, there are two big holes in this argument. One, it was the government of India, a UPA government, which gave intelligence information to the state government that this person may be part of the module of a terrorist group. Mr. Chidambaram, the Home Minister, later in Parliament and in writing and on press channels later, has confirmed that they did not call her a terrorist. They said you must investigate and find out, because IB only passes on the inputs to the state police. But neither Mr. Chidambaram nor the IB nor anyone else in this country told the Gujarat police, under the leadership of the then leadership of Gujarat, to go and assassinate in a fake encounter even a person suspected to be a terrorist. That's the fact. Now there I find no inconsistency between portraying a victim of a fake encounter, namely I kill you in a fake encounter, therefore you are a victim, versus the fact that you may be a terrorist. That's the proud rule of law in India. That's why we are not like several of our African, Indian, South Asian...
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand the distinction that you're... No, one second, sir. I understand the distinction that you're drawing.
Half a second.
No, we all get the distinction. But let's begin first with the presumption. One second.
Half a second.
No, 1 second. I want to begin with the presumption.
When we convict a terrorist, it is the UPA which executes him after conviction, be it Kasab, be it Afzal Guru.
Look, we'll come back to that. 1 second. You see, I want to draw attention to a basic fact. No, there's an undeniable fact here.
Posthumously.
The NIA... on what basis... No, Dr. Singhvi, on what basis did the NIA conclude here?
If Headley is found right, Headley will have to be found right.
No, but where is the...
If Headley is found right by the judge, Ishrat Jahan can be convicted posthumously at least by a declaration.
No,
that is wholly consistent with the fact that you cannot liquidate Ishrat Jahan in a fake encounter. What's the contradiction?
So we are now, Rahul, I get a sense that we are shifting the goalpost a little bit, post facto. Now I just want to come back to the original, no, 1 second. I want to come back to the original point, and that's my question. On what basis, sir, did the NIA conclude here, see, while deleting paras 168 and 169 that mention Headley's deposition on Ishrat? Now we know, sir, that the agency did not investigate on this aspect and chose to forget about it. The IB officers found themselves in a very embarrassing position. Now many people are saying that the NIA was pushed to taking this position, sir.
No, I think...
Dr. Singhvi.
No. You have not... Obviously the BJP has not read the contemporaneous statements of Mr. Chidambaram and the further clarifications he gave in and out of Parliament. He said three basic things. One, that the NIA and the central government, as is the usual norm, always passes on intelligence inputs. They are not the police, they don't investigate. The job of the IB or the RAW is to find information inputs, intelligence inputs, and pass them on to relevant modules. Number two, they passed on information they received for further verification and action to the Gujarat police, as they do to every police in every state. They don't take policing action themselves. Number three, after I pass on information to you, Rahul, you are expected to do a fair investigation and then convict a person, arrest a person, do what you like. You are not supposed to go and eliminate or assassinate that person in a fake encounter. That's the long and short of it. The responsibility lies with the police to whom the intelligence information is forwarded. The NIA is not supposed to go out and catch the person. This is a federal country where law and order remains the state subject. In fact, if the NIA went out to a state and started catching people, that state would be the first one to react violently and object. That is all that happened. In this case, the real problem is that the BJP is deliberately trying to say, we told you so, we were right.
No, why was the paragraph deleted?
You never told us that assassination in a fake encounter has anything to do with the guilt of the person.
I'd like to come in for a minute, Rahul, please.
Okay, well, Mr. Kohli wants to respond to you there.
No, the para was not there because it was found.
Well, I think,
the para was not there because it was found.
What Dr. Singhvi is doing is, Dr. Singhvi is building the case very, very carefully around a very narrow parameter, because the rest of it is extremely embarrassing. Let's go one by one. When Dr. Singhvi constantly refers to Mr. Chidambaram, he fails to bring to the notice of the nation that actually under Shivraj Patil ji as the Home Minister, which Mr. Jaitley has written in his letter, there was in the affidavit an acknowledgement of David Headley's, or Daud Gilani as his original name is, his testimony to the US. He is not a man who's out there free. He's serving a 35-year imprisonment, a sentence of that, in the United States for basically acts of terror. And that he was involved in 2611, that we wanted him to testify in 2611, that he had a role in 2611 was well known. That he was connected to the LET is also a factor on which he has been convicted in the United States. So that's the importance of Headley. That was part of the affidavit of the government of the union as part of the NIA, which was deleted the minute there was a change of guard, in this case when Mr. Chidambaram came up. If Mr. Chidambaram's contemporaneous statements are to be taken, then simultaneously we need to look at all the statements of Congress leaders on the Batla House issue, whether it was Osama ji, whether it is Mr. Hafiz Sahib, things like that. Why is it the Congress party always found itself wanting to portray a message that no, we don't want to take a stand on someone who's clearly a terrorist, lest we may perhaps anger a Muslim vote bank.
Okay.
Why would a Muslim or a Hindu or anyone want to be associated with a terrorist?
Okay.
A terrorist is a terrorist. That's the larger question. Why are we constantly trying to give a defensive thing, paint someone as a victim, when everything points that the person is a criminal or a terrorist?
Okay, well, I think you've heard it, Dr. Singhvi. You need to respond. Why is everyone putting...
Why is everyone
putting the encounter horse before the encounter cart before the origins horse? That's the basic fundamental. You're muddying water, says the BJP, deliberately.
A two sentence answer. The BJP has forgotten that this is a program about Ishrat Jahan, and neither about Dawood Ibrahim, neither about Dawood Gilani, nor about Batla House, nor about anything else. Number two, and that's an important distinction to keep in mind. Number two, I still repeat a fundamental distinction with the BJP is omitting, obliterating and deliberately forgetting. I find no contradiction in finding Ishrat Jahan the victim of a fake assassination or encounter, and equally finding Ishrat Jahan guilty of being a terrorist or being a suspected terrorist. We must assume that was a totally different proceeding. You could have convicted her, arrested her, prosecuted her. You could not have gone and fake encountered her. That's all. It's such a simple elementary distinction. But if you have blinkers on, you will not see that distinction.
What's the circumstances? Well, I just want to ask you.
May I?
Okay, quick
Rahul,
response.
May I?
Quick response, Mr.
Well, Rahul,
Kohli.
just two quick counters, very brief. Number one, very quick. Number one, is that we haven't forgotten it's a program on Ishrat Jahan, and all the things that I'm speaking about are intrinsically, directly or indirectly linked to the attitude that governed the Congress mindset towards Ishrat Jahan. The second point, what Dr. Singhvi is saying, if there is such a strong viewpoint, as he's putting it there so elegantly about the Ishrat Jahan case, then Dr. Singhvi would have no problem in taking a clear, unequivocal, unambiguous stand and say anyone and anyone within the Congress party associated directly or indirectly was found complicit in putting a message that Ishrat Jahan was a martyr or a victim. I will see personally, as Dr. Singhvi would personally lead it to say we will apologize on their behalf.
Dr. Singhvi, that's the point, isn't it?
I don't see what this equation is.
No.
No, this equation is being drawn completely distortedly.
No, I think
it's
the BJP...
I'll
tell you what it is. Dr. Singhvi, in case you're not being able to get it, I'll tell you what it is.
No. The BJP is using it as a stick.
That a atmosphere of sympathy was whipped up in favor of Ishrat Jahan to suit political ends, that her links to a terror organization were deliberately suppressed, and then a post-facto rationalization is being now made that we are not drawing a distinction between the two. There is no contradiction between our stands. We are only on the point of a fake encounter. I think, sir, you are not being honest with the facts here. If you suggest to me that no Congress leader has ever come out and suggested that Ishrat Jahan was a terrorist. Let's face it.
No Congress leader authorized in any manner to speak on the subject, not only spokesperson, has suggested what is being blatantly suggested in a distorted manner today. Let me explain to you very quickly and answer your question specifically. Ishrat Jahan's guilt or innocence as a terrorist was never established by any known process of law when she was alive. I am making it unreservedly clear before you that if she was even suspected remotely to be a terrorist, she should have been arrested, prosecuted, hanged, as we did for Afzal Guru and Kasam. We did, not they. Now, however, what happened at that time, it was the topic of discussion, was a killing already achieved. A killing achieved without trial, without anything. For that killing, what else will you call her except a victim? She is not a victim as far as her exoneration, guilt or innocence is concerned.
Okay, quick response.
But certainly she is a victim in being assassinated in cold blood, even as a suspected terrorist.
Quick response,
that's very
wrap
simple.
it up.
If you want to distort it, because you are the one who plays vote bank politics, you are the one who always looks a suspicion at a community as a whole,
okay, quick
you are
response.
the one who wants to bring religion into everything, then I can't help it.
Quick response, very quick, sir.
Well, Dr. Singhvi, actually it's not complicated. That with regards to the points that you are raising on Kasab or Afzal Guru and their hanging and due process, how can there be an argument? Our argument is about the thinking that drives someone to call Osama bin Laden Osama ji and at the same time paints Ishrat Jahan as a victim or a martyr, as if to say that no, this person was eliminated for extra reasons and had nothing to do with terrorism. And everything, whether it was within the legal process and how it was manipulated, whether it was the government how it acted, whether affidavits were changed, whether institutions of the government and agencies of the government were put to war at each other, whether officers were persecuted, plea bargains were forced upon others, all of it points that there was a thinking that was there, somehow portrayed.
Our viewers have heard both sides tonight. You've heard the weight of both arguments from individuals who are perfectly aware of the facts and know how to articulate them in a manner that serves their arguments best. We leave it at that. Lots more coming up in just a few moments. Stay with us. Don't go away.